Well, it's a day late, of course, but we're here. I am rough. Don't even address the situation. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. I am in a poor state of affairs. I am in a really fucking bad place right now. Not like that. Not, I'm actually quite a happy, chill person, but I am just, yes, very rough. And we've got to stare it in the face. We've got to talk about Celtic's loss yesterday in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. After extra time, Rangers went on to beat Celtic 2-1. And a result, that hurts. It stings a little bit. All chances of a treble have now been well and truly crushed, and we don't have another trip to Hampden this season. But I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to stare it in the face. And I'm looking forward to kind of talking a wee bit about the game, even though, we lost and such. It's always nice to get things out of the way. I can see there's plenty of Rangers fans in the chat who are here to celebrate their team winning, which is fine. I always enjoy dishing it out, and I can certainly take it. So, you know what? It's a game that didn't go our way. We know that. We didn't seem to really find a rhythm in the game, I thought. It was a difficult one to get into. Rangers played slightly better than us, and that's the overall feeling I've got from yesterday's game, and I don't know how much you would agree with me, Celtic fans in particular, but I don't think any of the two teams yesterday were particularly good. I thought both teams were really kind of meh, and Rangers were just the better meh side, you know what I mean? Expert punditry from myself there, but I just thought they were a little bit better at playing really sort of average. No team seemed to get out of, into the high gears of the game, I thought. From my seat anyway, I just thought, there was chances on both sides, and I think, we've seen Vickers hit the bar, and Rangers, I think they hit the post at some point. There was big chances, and chances that both sides should have probably taken in the game, but overall, it was just a little bit, I thought it was just a little bit average from both teams. And I thought it could have been a much better viewing experience for the neutral. And Rangers just seemed to have wanted it more. We seemed dead in our feet as the game went on. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about what that means now for the rest of the season, the other game that we have against Rangers. But I feel like they wanted it more in extra time, and that was the disappointing thing. I just thought that we looked like the side who were playing on Thursday night as the game went on. And Rangers just probably did want it a little bit more. Which is frustrating, and I don't think that's a problem. I don't necessarily think that it's a situation that we need to worry about. These things happen, and sometimes you do get games where you don't look as committed to it, and you probably aren't able to keep up the sort of levels that you usually hit. I don't think it's something we have to worry about. I think that it's a group of players that have recovered well from losing in the past. We've only lost 4 domestic games this season. We've recovered well after those losses. And I think we'll recover well from this one. And that's probably the biggest thing about this game now, and the biggest takeaway, in terms of Celtic's biggest takeaway from the game, is how we now move forward, and how we recover from this loss, and how we go on to hopefully win a league title. That's probably the most concerning thing, because the one thing that I said, and amongst all the negativity, look, listen, losing these games is never nice. I fucking hate losing to Rangers, and I'm never in a million years will accept a losing mentality from Celtic or Celtic fans or myself. That's never it. I would never accept a loss that easily. But I think that one thing that has to be said, and this is the way that I will look at it, being as optimistic as I can. Like, last season, every loss to Rangers felt like it hurt really badly, and this one hurt as well. But the thing is about this one, look, we can't win trebles every year. The fact that it became such a normality is just, it's a credit to the work that Celtic done over the course of those 4 years, winning 4 trebles. Trebles come and go, you know what I mean? And before we won those 4 in the bounce, we only had, 3 in our entire history? 2 or 3 in our entire history? It's not normal to win trebles every year. The fact that Rangers fans are saying, we've stopped your treble, would just kind of highlights how regular and how kind of normal it was becoming. But, we can't win them every year. And at the start of the season, if you offered me a double, I would have took it. I would have snatched at it. I would have bit your hand off. And that's not me making excuses. There's absolutely no excuses for yesterday's loss. We were the poorer side. We didn't get a result because we didn't really deserve a result. And I'll be honest about that. However, in looking at it from the bigger picture, if we walk away with a league title, we're 6 points clear right now. If we walk away with a league title and a League Cup come the end of this season, I would be delighted. I really would. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm going to be heartbroken about not winning a treble. It hurts, and it will sting for the next couple of days knowing that we didn't win. But you know what? If we can win that double, I would be absolutely over the moon. And I would have thought you were winding me up at the start of the season if you suggested any sort of any notion of that. We need a referee revamp. That was shocking. £1.79. Thank you for the donation. Alex with a good point. Lowest point in our season, a season full of highs. We win the league, it's a great season. We go again at Dingwall, and that's true. And Alex, not nailing the head stuff. You know, it's been a fantastic season. And listen, as I said, it hurts, and I am never going to take away that win from Rangers and start throwing out excuses and conspiracies and this, that, next thing. They got what they deserve. I've already said that, but it does hurt. But we'll be back on top in a few weeks. You know, we'll be. Hopefully we get the revenge that we need at Celtic Park. Hopefully we get over the line and win a title. And you know, everything once again is we're on top of the world. You know what I mean? Top in the league, looking down on the Rangers as we sing. The refereeing conversation is a big one. I've not really spoke too much about the actual football being played yet. I feel like, you know, I've wanted to kind of cover the bigger picture stuff from that game, and I feel like I've done that now. So we might come back to it. I'll take some of your questions, of course, as well. The refereeing situation, the refereeing was very, very poor yesterday. It was, and once again, not going to make excuses. I'm not going to blame the loss on referees, but it was a terrible performance from Bobby Madden, a shocking performance. And you're allowed to say that without, you know, using it as an excuse. You know what I mean? I'm not here making excuses. That's absolutely, I've never done it and I never will. Never blamed a referee for a Celtic loss in my life. If we lose the game, we're not good enough to win the game normally. And I'm never going to start using that excuses. However, there's no denying that yesterday's refereeing performance was nothing short of a shambles. It was embarrassing. And I think that, you know, it was probably on both sides as well, to be fair. There was referee decisions throughout the game that were really poor, but especially in towards Rangers' favour. It was shocking. It was really, really bad. But once again, never going to use as an excuse. We didn't do our job in the game. We didn't find the net. We couldn't score goals, and that was the problem yesterday. I think we just lacked it in the final third. I think there was a little bit of a disappointment with the striking options without Georgios Giakoumakis. I think we missed him yesterday. I think his presence was really kind of shown in the last couple of games against Rangers, and it was really missed in this performance against Rangers. And I'm not throwing Maida or Kyogo under a bus or anything. I just think yesterday they struggled to get into the game. They were pinned down well. We didn't really create too much from them. It was one of those games where we were crossing balls in at times, and Maida's struggles to get to them, and they're going across and just out of play, and it just wasn't working really. And I feel like we missed Giakoumakis' sort of presence in that game. I think we did. I would have liked to have had him available, but obviously you can't do it when they're hot, and you can't bring them in when it's hot. But we did. I thought we missed them. But there's no need to turn. You know, I see Alex's comment there. There's no need to turn backs on any of the players. Look, it was a poor game. I think that we just struggled to get into the game in different areas. There was only two players for me that really stood out amongst them all. McGregor, I thought, was brilliant again, and his presence as a captain, even in defeat, is unbelievable. And it was good to see him rally the troops at the end of the game and come to the support. And, you know, it's a team that deserves all of our appreciation this season. Even after a loss to Rangers, it deserves everything. You know, I stayed there, clapped them off the park at the end. It's nothing, you know, the team deserve more than that if we could give them it. But brilliant. And Cameron Carter-Vickers, I thought, was good as well yesterday. He done his job throughout the game well. And listen, we conceded 2 goals that I wish we didn't concede, obviously, and I think we could have probably kept out, and defensively we probably should have done better. But I think Cameron Carter-Vickers had a decent game. I think he was good again. He was unlucky not to score as well when he hit the bar. But listen, this season was about building. It was about getting better, and we've got better. We're a much better side. We're back at the top of the league. It was about winning that league title back, and it looks as though we're going to do that. Touch wood, nothing goes wrong. But we need to pick ourselves up. We have to learn from this performance heading into the game at Parkhead now, and we need to feed off that sort of disappointment. I think we've got to use that to our advantage. It's annoying. I think we were due something like this in this run of great form we've got going. I think we were due a loss at Hampden as well, considering that's the first time since fucking 2016 that we've lost there. you can't keep every run forever. All good things must come to an end, the famous quote. But yeah, it is what it is. It's a loss. It's tough. You can see it. You can hear it in my voice that I'm disappointed. But we'll recover, and that's one thing I'm confident of with this side, with this Celtic team, with Ange. We need to learn from the disappointment. We need to show the hunger. Thank you for the donation, by the way, King David. We need to use the disappointment of this defeat and look at what went wrong. And I think that he really, like this team and Ange, they really get it and they really get bouncing back, and they'll use this. And they'll know what went wrong from yesterday as the sirens blare outside, if you can hear that. They'll know what went wrong, and they'll know they need more desire for the next occasion. And I think we'll get that. I really do. But yeah, disappointing, and of course, an extra time, it hurts as well. That video of doing the rounds of James Forrest, it hurts to watch it. It's embarrassing to watch it. And I made this point as well on Twitter today, that I don't like being reactionary after a loss. I'm not one of these people who start going, he's pish, he's rotten, get rid of him to any player. And I don't like that. I never have been that sort of fan. If something's going wrong for a long time, I will then start to have those sort of conversations. Never after one game. However, Forrest's done. He's finished. Absolutely finished. You'd think that he was the one that he didn't even start the game. And Calvin Bassey, don't get me wrong, he's a quick player, he's a strong player, a good defender as well. But Forrest, what? It's embarrassing. It's not just the pace thing. It's not even like it's everything about it. It's embarrassing to watch. The attempt to track it back, the position that he's in the first place, the way he acts off it, and then overall just the chase. It's just, and it's not just that situation. I thought it was good word there used by CB the third. He was invisible, I thought, yesterday. I think he's done. I don't see any reason now he should still be at Celtic next season. I don't think he will leave. I think he will stay, for the record. But how does he keep up with our wingers? How? He doesn't. He simply doesn't. His time as a Celtic player, as a regular Celtic player, is over. Quite frankly. And I don't like saying that about a guy who's been here for over a decade. He's gave great service to this club. But he's done. He's finished. He really is. Watch this. He'll score a hat-trick next week. Fucking celebration. Ryan Mominate's a dick on his shirt or something. But I thought, there was a lot of, I thought it was just, in the final third, we were just really anonymous, I thought. It's a good word there as well. Forrest wasn't the only problem, but he was just, wow. You've got players like Karamoko Dembele, of course, who would make a much bigger impact on that game, I think, than him. But it is what it is. So I'll take some questions. It is disappointing. We are out the cup. We'll not be going to Hampden. It is what it is. I'm suffering. I'm fucking suffering, and it hurts. It will hurt for the next few minutes. But let's get some questions in. Let's pick some points from the chat to end it off for the last sort of 5 minutes, and let you guys dictate the conversation about yesterday's game. Of course, we now pick ourselves up. We need to go to Dingwall next. It's important. It's important to kind of just pick the head up, rally around this team, and feed them the energy they need to go and get the job done the next game. But let's get some questions up. Let's get some. Criticism on Welsh is unfair. He's obviously at a right back. Was always going to be a disaster when he came on there. Okay, I get what you're saying. I just struck you. The grammar could have been better there at LT, but it's fine. I thought Welsh was very poor, but I do understand that. He was put in an area where he's probably not favoured, but he was poor. Someone who I still don't think is good enough to be a Celtic player. Not when you need big players and big moments. Welsh isn't the guy. For me. I must admit, I've seen more bad than good. I don't think it was anything that deserves that, it doesn't deserve to be lambasted. I don't think that it's something that, he deserves a heavy criticism for, but I think that he was a little bit poor yesterday. However, let's see what else is, Christ, that'll be the day. Let's see, any update on injuries? Worried about Carter Vickers, Juranovic, Taylor, Maida and Abad after yesterday. There has been no updates yet. I imagine we won't have any updates till tomorrow, at least. Everybody's on their bank holiday, of course. We'll probably hear tomorrow, maybe later in the week at the press conference as well. I'm sure that the manager will comment on that as soon as possible. What do I think of the Cameron Vickers chance? I said unlucky, and if it goes in, it's a completely different conversation today. You know what I mean? It's just, it's these fine margins that dictate how a game goes sometimes, and just, yeah. Let's see, what else? Welsh is a solid young prospect. He's 3 years younger than Cameron Vickers. I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes you can look at someone and you can go, player. They're going to be a player. I never have seen it with Welsh. Once again, I'm not saying get rid of him. I just don't think he's ever going to be that guy. Yes, I know he's younger than Vickers. I don't know. I think he needs a drastic sort of... We can't rely on him as a centre-half option, I think, is what I'm basically trying to say. It needs a drastic improvement, I think. Do you still think we should change Jota? Of course. I'm not going to throw my toys at the pram about Jota. He's a fantastic player. He's world class. No, he's not world class. Calm down, Ryan. He's a fantastic player for this. He's still one of the best in this country, easily. Like, people have bad games, and listen, this is the thing I said in the stream, it's in the podcast, it's like, if we lose this game, there's going to be some amount of people, and this isn't directed towards you that left a comment there, absolutely not. Thank you for the donation, by the way. It's not directed at you, but it's directed at other people who suddenly throw the toys at the pram with players because they've no scored a goal. He's peace, man. I said it in Maida, I was like, if Maida starts up front and he doesn't score, people are going to start throwing their toys at the pram. People are going to start giving it the whole fucking, oh, he's not good enough, shite, rotten, fucking bring back Kyogo. That's the kind of opinion you get sometimes from folk. Listen, he didn't have the best game, but he's still a fucking quality player. I'd kill to have him at Celtic. So yes, I'm begging Celtic to spend the $6.5 million and throw money at him. Let's see. What else has been said? Would you start the same midfield for Ross County away? Hearing a lot of people say O'Reilly should start. I think O'Reilly should start. I love Rogic. I love him, but let's give O'Reilly a chance in the starting lineup. I think change it up. We might be forced into changes. You never know how things are actually going. Let's see. I said at the start of the video, Mark, at the start of the stream, I think we missed him massively yesterday. I think his presence was, we spotted it. Thank you for the donation, Elliot. What a hero, my man. Seemed like when the Rangers goal, when they scored, they had no answer. Yeah, it did. It felt like that, Elliot. Hero, mate. Thanks. It did. It really did feel like that. It just felt like when that goal hit the net, we were drained. And we didn't have the reply for it. Now, ideally, you want to try and score as soon as possible. Water is wet. But, we couldn't find it. And as extra time dragged on, I just never seen it coming. I really did. And that is one of the most disappointing things from yesterday. I just knew it wasn't going to go away. As soon as extra time started, I had a bad feeling. I was biting my nails the entire time. I just knew it wasn't going to go away. And that's not me. I'm not saying I'm unfaithful or I don't believe in this side or anything like that. I do. It's just one of those days. It was just the way the game was going. The kind of momentum was on their side when they got their goal, their equaliser. It just didn't feel like it was going to be our day. So yeah, it's annoying. I don't like thinking like that, but it was just one of those days. The display was brilliant. Yeah, I think if we take a victory from yesterday, we can probably, take that. Yeah, Taylor scoring was huge. I was buzzing for Greg Taylor to get the goal as well. I think, and in defeat, the goals don't matter, obviously. Like, who cares if you don't win the game? But I think his goal was a sort of reward for his form recently. He's been really good of recent. And that goal, you could see how much it meant to him. I think it was good to see that. And I'm buzzing for him to get that goal. I don't necessarily agree that he needs replaced. And Stephen, I think we do need another left back. And if he's better than Greg Taylor, that's good. Because let's be honest, we can get better. But he's been good recently. Like, I do agree with you. Yeah, we probably do need a better player. I think we need someone who matches the quality on the right hand side of Juranovic. But I don't know if I would necessarily saying it feels slightly harsh saying he's replaced in the summer because he's done a really good job of recent. And the goal yesterday, as we just touched on, was big. Yeah, I don't know. His game yesterday wasn't exactly great, but yeah, okay, that'll probably do us. 20 minutes I've went live for. I'm fucking rough. It's also I've started working half an hour as well. Just horrible day. Thank you to everybody who came along and watched. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow to kind of digest this result a little bit more and prepare for the next league fixture and hopefully our run to the league title now. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and yeah, see you next time. Cheerio.